Hello, everyone. This is Pinterest Pro Anna here with you again with Facebook Live. And I hope all of you are having a wonderful evening. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about my education using Pinterest series that I will be beginning next week with my blogs. And if you remember, if you were watching last week, you know I talked about using Pinterest in education and how I felt like that this was really a subject that should be addressed and that business people should pay attention to this because this is something that could be very effective in the education realm. Uh, you hear people talking about standardized testing all the time and these national standards. Well, why not find a fun way to be able to cover these topics? When I was an educator, that's what I always tried to do. And so over the next few weeks, I'm going to present a series of blogs that will discuss not only ways to use Pinterest in education, but also the importance of having training and objectives and measurable outcomes and rubrics to measure those outcomes. Because it's one thing to have a great idea that might be entertaining in education, but it also needs to have objectives, and the objectives need to be measurable objectives. And so to me, this would be effective because on Pinterest already, there are 350 boards that have the title lesson plans. And there's over 400 boards that use the keyword classroom in it, and over 450 boards that have the keyword teacher in it. So that shows you that teachers are on Pinterest. There's thousands of teachers on Pinterest looking for ideas and ways to have better lesson plans and ways to enhance what they're trying to accomplish. And of course, as I said before, the key is that for these to be effective is setting objectives and matching the lessons to the state and national standards. Also, proper training needs to be offered for educators to effectively use this platform and to make subjects like math and economics or chemistry that a lot of times students don't find quite so interesting and make them more interesting, but at the same time, you're still accomplishing those state and national standards. And so these are the topics that I will be addressing. Because too often teachers are presented with ideas and not given any instruction. And as a former educator, I can think of strategies such as project-based learning, using computers in the classroom, and many more ideas where these ideas were thrown at them, but there was never really any proper training done in the area. And so a lot of teachers became frustrated and didn't even think the idea worked, or they did it very poorly. And in education, I taught economics, and I will say that one of my saving graces was a couple of organizations such as Junior Achievement who did offer us a lot of training. And not only that, any idea that they presented to us for a lesson, they matched it up to the standards, and that was so helpful as a teacher. So that's the kind of thing that I want to talk about. And so follow me over the next few weeks, and let's get excited enough that maybe some college of education out there at some university will realize that this is a great idea, and perhaps some training could be offered, even if it was just continuing education courses for teachers who often take these courses to renew their license. And so stay tuned, and next week will be my first of the series, and I'll write the blog, and then with the blog, of course, I will cover some of the topics here on Facebook Live. And so until Thursday, when I will show you some of these lesson plans that are already on Pinterest and talk a little bit about what needs to be done to improve what you're offering to the teachers and so forth, I'm going to sign off now and travel on down the Pinterest Super Highway.